Well, shalom, everybody. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to call Senator David J. Valesky. And I hope I pronounced your name right there. I never heard it pronounced before. But I had somebody refer him to me that I should go ahead and disclose these known felonies to that I've done for so many others. And what I do is I sent him the email and another letter to explain what the emails, about that he was going to get it in case he gets tossed or whatever, because I'm going to go ahead and call his office here in a moment, and that's what I'm inviting you to. And whether, this gets posted or not, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if he's going to be in the office. I don't think I'll be speaking with him, but I do want to inform them of the emails that I sent. So let's see what goes on. And that way you can be witness that I'm doing these things as well. And I don't know what that is. If that's my microphone thing, I'm supposed to... Boy, oh boy. Look at this. Yeah, I wanted to use my phone call. There's my microphone.
Good morning, Senator Valesky's office.
Hey, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, I'm not too bad. Do you have somebody that's like a superior there that I might be able to speak to? I have to talk about something that discloses many felonies, and I want to make sure that Senator David Valesky there gets the emails that I sent. I don't want him to be incriminated like Ted Cruz is.
Okay. Okay, I'm sorry. So what is it that you're asking for?
If you got like a supervisor or somebody that can absolutely ensure that Senator David Valesky is going to get the things that I need him to see.
Well, I mean, if you're sending something by email, I monitor his inbox, and I can make sure that he sees it.
Okay, well, I sent 2 emails earlier, ma'am, that, and I don't know what his feelings are toward Ted Cruz, but I think that he's going to be cruising. All right, we've got these 57,000, and I hope that you're videotaping this or audio taping this.
No, we're not.
Can you?
Senator Valesky is a state senator, not a U.S. senator, so he has nothing to do with Ted Cruz at all.
But he could also, see, the thing is I'm informing him of federal crimes, of felonies that have been committed. So it's now up to him. And if he does not report it, okay, if he doesn't report this to somebody in authority, which the email will show, then he can also be liable and be put up into prison for not saying anything about what I sent him.
I don't believe that is actually true.
Ma'am, then please, if you're over the emails, open them up and read them yourself.
Okay. All right.
I asked you to do this. Now, there's a couple videos in there, and I'm making this into a video as well because, they did murder me in Texas. And you might say, well, how could they do that if I'm talking to you? I'm not a ghost, and that's true. But they did it in their hearts. Their full intent was to do so. They misappropriated public and federal funds. They put me into jail without an indictment, without any charges whatsoever by a justice of the peace who only had jurisdiction up to a Class C misdemeanor traffic violation that was non-jailable. But a district judge, and I've got all the evidence in the world, I've got court cases filled with this information, which then caused this man, after I billed him for contempt of his own court to use, he was a district judge over Callahan, Coleman, and Taylor counties in Texas. And these are crimes. These are federal crimes that David should know about as well. Now, this man here, I billed him for contempt of his own court because of what he was doing in his courtroom. And what he did, I sent him a negotiable bill, an instrument. And what he did was he got together with the attorney, the district attorney and the county attorney, and some other flim-flam man, and they went to the justice of the peace. They corralled him, and he only had jurisdiction up to a Class C traffic violation, non-jailable. That very same man, Steve Odom, wrote out an arrest warrant for me for a third-degree felony. Now, that same...
Sir, can I ask you, have you been in contact with a lawyer for this?
No, ma'am, I know you're going to go there, but when you see my emails, you'll see. Attorneys are all in on this.
Well, sir, we cannot help you with any
what I'm saying
criminal case.
No, I don't want you to help me with a criminal case. You're not hearing what I'm saying. I'm giving you information. Now, if you do not turn that information over, if David doesn't turn that information over to some district judge, somebody in the military, or having authority, then if he doesn't do that, then he can come into violation of that federal statute. And you'll see it. You'll read it right in there because it's in there. It's under Title 18 of the USC. And it says if anybody withholds, if they know of a felony that is cognizable in a court, okay, and they do not, if they conceal it and they do not inform somebody of it, then they can be put into prison for up to 3 years and fined or both. That's a federal statute, ma'am, and that's what's gone on. The email that I sent you, you'll see in there, has around 88, give or take, emails of different agencies, governmental agencies that I sent out to crying out for help. They put me into jail, ma'am, starved me for 44 days. While I was in there, they burnt down my church and my domicile and my vehicle because they thought that they would destroy all the evidence that I had stored up over the years because I've been a whistleblower. So they burned me out while they put me in jail to murder me with your tax dollars. That's your tax dollars at use. Now before that, they was misappropriating tax dollars so that they could each make in excess of $10,000 each from me from frauds that they filed in a court. Now, I'll tell you what, see, there is a benefit for David out of this, because if he does send this up, I'll vouch for the man when elections come up. I don't have a problem with it, you know. If he's going to act according to what the law says.
Senator Voletsky is not running for office again.
Well,
I urge you strongly to contact a lawyer, and I'm sorry, he cannot help you with this.
Ma'am, they murdered me. How in the world? You're listening on a totally different plane. Like I said, that's why I was asking for somebody with the authority that can make sure that David got the message. Now, I've been talking to you, and I'm absolutely certain that you're going to tell him, right?
I believe, you know what, I believe I have seen your emails.
Okay.
I can certainly show them to Senator Voletsky.
Now tell him to read them.
I think I'm safe in saying that even if he wanted me to call you back, he would say that he cannot help you.
Well, I'm not asking him to help me.
You are. You're asking him to go to a federal authority, and he cannot do that. He does not have the authority to do that. And what you need is a lawyer in order to do that. And the statute that you're citing is impeding in the investigation of a crime.
I'm not saying
You're misinterpreting that statute.
I didn't say any of what you're saying. You're making that up and you're painting it on me. I get this from everybody. Don't you know they've come to my house? They burned me out more than once. They bulldozed me without notification. Have you ever gone home, ma'am, after a day of work and said, I think I'll go to the fridge and grab me a beer and sit down on the couch and just sit down and watch a couple, TV programs and forget the world? But you pull up in your yard, you ain't got no house. Have you ever done that? Yes?
Sir, what you're saying is you're claiming that Senator Volesky is liable, for federal penalties if he does not report this. This is what you've said to me.
Don't be defensive. He has authority. He's a senator of New York State. He has authority to report things to a law enforcement agency, does he not?
But you've already reported this to a law enforcement agency.
But man, that's the whole purpose. Can't you see? I've reported it and nobody's done nothing. So like I told you, even with Senator Ted Cruz, that's a Texas senator. And he's in Congress, he's whatever he is there. Okay? I mean, remember what President Trump used to call him? Lion Ted, I think it was. He was right up there. He was a presidential candidate. This man refused to listen, so therefore his head's on the block. Because he has broke federal regulations. And I have the proof of it. Now, if you're going to let me die because you think that David can't simply inform some local law enforcement agency, okay, even the FBI, just say, hey, look, I've got this information from this fellow. You look at it. I don't know what to do with it. It says in the law, I must let a judge or someone of authority or military to get the information.
Sir, I'm sorry, you are misinterpreting that statute.
Well, you need to read it. It's right in there.
I have read it. You are misinterpreting that statute.
Well, what's it say?
You need to contact a lawyer.
Ma'am.
Please, contact a lawyer
you know how many
to work on your behalf.
Quit and ran away because I was there speaking in courtrooms? I've seen judges, from words out of my mouth, get up from their bench and run into their chambers and lock the door, leaving everyone behind, the bailiff and everyone. They never saw nothing like that. I don't need an attorney. They're all agents of the court. You don't understand this. You have probably no legal background, and you shouldn't even be telling me I should do these things. Seek out these things for whatever counsel. I'm not asking for counsel. I'm asking that felonies, known felonies that are filed in court records, that are being ignored by corrupt judges. Even President Trump has got over 57,000 sealed indictments that's supposed to go out to start draining some of the swamp. I say, and I also did send off, by the way, to the White House to let them know that you've been contacted. So if you don't send it to somebody else, the White House will know. And I send these things out. I'm going to be continuing to send these things out. I've been silent for a long time. But it's not going to stay silent. Okay, the book of Enoch, please read it, chapters 100 through 108. It speaks of me. Now, you can tell David that as well, because it speaks of me, not just me, but there's 144,000 that have had the world do to them what the evidence I have in all the courts. In the courts. They're filed in the court record. It's called prima facie evidence. It cannot be denied. And these judges covered up for misappropriated funds, stealing them, knowing that he had plaintiffs that filed frauds. I mean, they bulldozed my property, ma'am, with a bulldoze order, with a demolition order for 600 Virgil. My property was 700 Virgil. And they told me I couldn't fight City Hall. They robbed me of everything, my rights and everything. And when I billed them for doing it, because the court screwed me. Believe you me, ma'am, I've been doing this since 1987. When I walk into a courtroom, attorneys shake, their knees knock, because they know what I know. I own attorneys. I own the city of Abilene. I actually own Texas, because the contracts that I filed there in the city actually use their employees to file frauds, known frauds against me. They use the Abilene City Reporter newspaper first to set up the fraud, but they filed a cause of action for 600 Virgil, which was the wrongful demolition that took place by a fraudulent demolition order for 600 Virgil, a property that never existed. It never existed. And it's just people like you, ma'am, you know, that I tell things to, and you just turn your ear to it because you think, oh, everything's got to be right because you work for an office that's got a senator in it, and there's judges out there, and they're putting people in jail and in prison where they should be. But you don't know that the innocent ones, such as me, you're rooting for me to be done the same. You know, your tax dollars, ma'am, paid for my murder. They put me in solitary confinement. They impeded me for 44 days, and they wasn't intending to let me out of there. They arrested me in false charges by a judge that had no jurisdiction to even write up an arrest warrant for a felony. He could only go up as far as a Class C misdemeanor, non-jailable. But this man, in conspiracy with these other judges and senators, and all these other ones, it's already up to the governor. I got them all billed for this, just like Enoch said I do. And there's people on why you want to do that. If you hear of an injustice, why don't you stand up for it, get you a backbone, and tell them, hey, you can't do that. Instead of, oh, well, it's okay if they screw you, Mr. Hawkins. It's totally all right if they just trod you under feet. If everyone else is going to do it, then I'll do it myself. Now, why would you do that, ma'am?
Sir,
no,
I have already told you what we can and cannot do for you. I understand that is not what you want to hear.
Why would you toss me under the bus back into the meat grinder where I'm climbing out of just because you can't hear my voice? You can't believe that your government would do these things and that counties would end up...
Have you contacted our district attorney?
I've contacted everyone all the way up to the President of the United States. I contacted Loretta Lynch. Not anyone.
You contacted our district attorney, Bill Fitzpatrick?
Not here. I was in Texas. I fled from Texas to save my life. They put a $30,000 bond on me because I wrote a
Okay, I understand, but you're asking our office to intervene in a legal matter, and I'm asking if you've contacted the district attorney's office.
No, I'm not asking you to intervene. Say I gave you a nickel and put it in your hand. And I simply say, okay, now you got that nickel in your hand. What you got to do is put it over there into that little collection plate. Okay, now you might not have authority whatsoever under that collection plate. That might be for, like, you know, some muscular dystrophy or something. But it goes from your hand right
okay,
over there.
let me see. I'm trying to understand exactly what it is you would like our office to do. Now, let me try again.
Okay.
You're asking our office to take the information that you are giving to us and take it to a legal authority who has the means to investigate it. Is that correct?
I'm not saying the means to investigate. I'm saying you'll see in Title 18.
So wait. So that would be someone like the district attorney.
A judge. It doesn't say no district attorney in there, ma'am.
A judge doesn't investigate anything. A judge just sits and listens to cases brought by prosecutors.
No, not when it's brought by the senator. I have given it to somebody of authority that can actually go to a district court, federal district court, and say, Judge, look, here's a copy. I'm sure that you can go ahead and print that out for them, and you can put it in the mail and send it to the court. Send it certified mail if you have to. It's taxpayer dollars. You're saving my life with it. It's well worth the stamp. And just go ahead and keep the copy. And that way, if anyone comes down, you know, President Trump or anyone looking to dredge the swamp here, with others that are breaking these federal laws and thinking it's all right. Remember, this is a nation of laws. But ma'am, I'm telling you, I know the laws better than any attorney there is, for the most part, in the United States of America. Most people are specialized. But when it comes down to certain things, I know the law much better than most of them, and they quake. That's why they murdered me, ma'am, just like Enoch said they would. Have you ever read the book of Enoch? Not trying to get all religious on you. But have you ever read the book of Enoch?
The book of, I'm sorry?
Enoch. Enoch.
No, I have not.
It's an interesting book. Have you ever read the Bible?
Parts.
Okay, well, sometime you ought to read it like you would Harry Potter, right from the very beginning and read right through it. You might need it, okay? When you start seeing what's going on here with all these tax dollars being spent to build these bunkers under these mountains for our leaders and their families to sneak away and leave us behind. Have you heard about Planet X?
Sir, we've been on the phone for 20 minutes, and we've been going round and round and round, and I've explained to you what we can help you with and what we cannot, and I'm not sure what else there is for me to say.
Well, are you getting paid by the hour, or, are you getting paid?
Well, I do have other phone calls and constituent matters to attend to.
Well, I haven't heard no phone calls coming. And you don't think that my matter is important? Is that what you think it is? Or are
I do think your matter is important, and I've devoted 20 minutes of my day to it. And if you'd like to send an email to follow up, I'd be sure to send that. Make sure that the sender sees that.
No, see, now we haven't got to the part yet of what you was going to do with the email. See, the thing is, what you need to do is, like I was saying, you could either mail it out by email, and I'm sure that David's got a couple emails that he knows some judges or whatever. And that's all he's got to do is send it out and keep record that he sent it to somebody of authority. And it takes everything away from him. See, the thing is, I put this burden on his back because I now gave him information. And it says that if he conceals that information or he doesn't act on it, by at least reporting.
We've already discussed that.
Right.
We have already discussed
that.
I'm saying
cover for your boss. Cover for your boss is what I'm saying. Don't let him fall down on this now because you don't think this is important. You think I'm a crackpot. Make sure that it gets to.
I think you have misinterpreted some statutes.
No, I haven't. Believe me, I have not misinterpreted the statutes. I know them better than you. Are you an attorney, ma'am?
I'm not, no.
And how could you tell me I don't know how to read law? I keep the laws of our Heavenly Father, and I keep the laws of man. Better than most any man on this planet keeps the laws of man. I know the laws. Believe you me, that's how I kept out of prison. Every time they filed a fraud against me to put me there, our king came and he put the words in my mouth to keep me out of there, and he allowed me the filings to keep me out of their prisons. But they tried to put me in there more than once.
Please send your email with your information.
Well,
I will show it to Senator Valesky.
That's what I'm saying. You said that you found the two that I sent you. And you also...
Please send your email. I will show it to Senator Valesky.
You want me to resend them?
Please send your email. I will show it to Senator Valesky.
Ma'am, please. When we started the phone call, we discussed 2 emails that I said I sent, and you said that you had them and that you was
Please send your email. I will show it to Senator Valesky.
Ma'am, what are you saying? Please send my email. Did you delete them?
Please send your email. I will show it to Senator Valesky.
I don't understand.
Please send your email. I will show it to Senator Valesky.
Okay, so you want me to resend the emails?
Yes.
Okay, well, that's what I asked. I didn't want you to keep repeating the same thing. All I want to know is if you wanted me to resend them because I didn't know if you deleted them or not. But I'll take it that you deleted them, and I will resend them right away. And hey, I do appreciate the time. It's been a real pleasure. And I hope that you do read some scriptures there, you know. I mean, you may find something quite astounding that may save you when this Planet X comes around. I love you and our King. And I want the best for you. I just pray that you know that our King don't want you to fail either. And, you know, in those kind of positions you're in there, in those offices and such, sometimes you can't see it so clear. But I'm telling you, if all those walls and everything was taken away from you, and you was out there just standing on a hillside with nothing else, you'd have time to think. And that's about what we're going to come to, because we got these earthquakes and these storms. Look at all the storms that are doing the same things to people. They used to have houses and everything to live in. They don't have anything at all, not even cement slabs in some of the areas.
I understand. I understand. You have a very good day, sir.
You too. Bye-bye. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
And there you have it. I mean, I tell you, you know, it's so difficult. I mean, people are so blind, even in the office. And I love the woman. I do. I don't want to talk evil or bad about it or anything, but, you know, it's like, wow, you know, what are people actually thinking? They're so far away from the truth and the law. They don't even live by man's law, you know. And I mean, what man's law has become now is kind of like traditions of their forefathers, which was the Masons, you know, and such, and all these that brought forth these judges, and the, you know, the Masonic lodges where you're brought into, and they call them courtrooms now and such as well, because, you know, it's only fit, you know, that they have courtrooms in their temples, because, you know, our Heavenly Father has got a courtroom in heaven as well. And that's where I hope that I could stand with confidence. In man's courtrooms, I got no worries, you know. I mean, they're all evil and wicked, what they're doing. I don't see them doing what's right at all. It's all the fox garden, you know, the hen house. Unless our King reaches out, you know, I don't know what we're going to do, fellas, guys and gals. I mean, you hear these things, you know, and you tell them, you know. I mean, why do you think people can't hear me? It's like, I think I was speaking plain English to her, but yet it was like going right over her head. And there at the end, you can see, you know, that Baphomet was, you know, pumping it out there. Send the email, send the email, send the... It's like, man, wow. Feel sorry for her, but, you know, we are what we eat, and, you know, we need to seek. I hope I gave her encouragements enough to do so. I pray that she will seek. I really do. As we all should. Well, I love you all, and I just wanted to share that message with you to show you that I am diligent in this. Please pass it around, so if they do decide to suicide me or something. I mean, I tell them all the time, chop off my head, you know, but, you know, the time the offerings is done, you know. I mean, I'm not offering that anymore. If they're going to take it, they're going to have to take it. But with enough people out there knowing what they've done, you know, as soon as my death does take place, if it does, and I don't think it can. I don't. That sucks. That's the part that bothers me the most, you know. Someone coming in here and shoot me in the head a couple times, you know, and I'm still living, hurting like hell, you know, because they shot me in the head. Because I can't, you know, die until it's time. But then again, it might be time at that time, too. So who knows? But it's not a hopeless case, people. We're going to get this investigation. Our King's going to bring it. And I might not need to be trying. You know, I don't know. I'm caught up in between things. I mean, it's like, how could people be so deaf and so blind? You could show the things. I sent her emails, you know, showing it. I'll send all the emails if you want that I had sent. Just let me know. But till we meet again, I hope this is a lesson to you, okay, with what's going on. I mean, you can't depend on man's law. You can't depend on man's law at all. It's killing me, I'm telling you, you know. I mean, you think that you can stand on it, but it's not there when you need it, you know. The judges move it out the way, and the wicked politicians and everything else just scatter it around, so you got no foundation to stand on there And they change rules all the time, you know, they keep getting rid of things. I'll tell you what, there's a movie that's called Nothing But Trouble. It's a movie with Chevy Chase in there and Dan Aykroyd, I think. Demi Moore. And some other people, but if you watch it, I've given out those videos. I bought several of them from eBay in the past, and I went out and I put them on these judges' desks, you know, and I let them know what the hell they was like. So if you can find Nothing But Trouble with Chevy Chase and Dan Aykroyd and Demi Moore, please watch it. You'll see what these court systems are like here. This is what, you know, hopefully President Trump is trying to get rid of. It's what I'm calling out against again. And if I don't get any kind of notices from anybody this time around again, you know, then I'll probably have to figure that it's not time yet again to be heard, you know. But, I mean, how can you... I mean, can you see the persecutions that I've been through and everything? And people think that I'm nuts, okay? Well, if you went through half of what I went through, you'd be freaking bananas. I'll guarantee it, you know? So I love you all, and please pray for us, you know? Pray for the brothers. Pray for the sisters of our King. Those that are known now, and those that are not yet known. Pray for those. Forget the world, you know, let them do their own thing, but pray for those who love our King and those that will love our King. And pray for, you know, Jerusalem, wherever location it is. Pray for all the Jerusalems across the planet, or the earth, or the pear, or whatever it is. But we need to cry out for judgment. Let's cry out for judgment. You know, I mean, you're not going to find it in these offices. I mean, they're all just puppets of the principalities and rulers of the air. That's what it is. So